Hi everyone, welcome to Kelly's Creative Dream Studios, and this is Shout Out Saturday, and I have my kit for the May Make a Kit, Make a Journal, Junk Journal Challenge with Dear Julie Julie. Now that's a mouthful. And for the first time in several months, I'm really excited about this month's challenge. I have chosen the theme to go patriotic, use red, white, and blue, and Julie has a few stipulations, but not a lot, and I think that's one of the reasons that I've jumped in on this one with so much excitement. So I'm going to start with, with this challenge, we'll be making a journal, either hard or soft cover, with at least 60 pages, front and back, which means 15 full sheets of paper. Your journal can be any size, any theme. It can be larger and more pages, and we will be making all the elements and putting them into the journal. This can be a stash buster, or you can shop. Here's the thing. Aside from some basic items, we can only shop, either in our stash or out and about, for 14 items. And I'll get to those 14 items in a minute. We are to start with a paper pad any size. And I didn't have a paper pad that was patriotic or red, white, and blue. Most everything I have is either Christmas, Halloween, or vintage. So I am using, and I know that's horrible, let me pull it out of the case. If I can get it out of the case. I'm going to be using this textured cardstock darks from Paper Studio. And the reason I did this is because it gives me some good reds, cherry cobbler type of reds, gives me some really pretty blues, and some yellows. And there's some actual reds. So I've got some good colors of cardstock to work with. So that is my paper pad. And then as many Dear Julie Julie digitals as we want to use, we have to use at least 5. They can be either full digital pages, they can be ephemera pages, whatever, as long as we use 5 pages of her digital somewhere within the journal. We can use our binding kit, which includes thread, needles, 4 clips, graph paper for our whole template, and we can also use a sewing machine and threads, needles. I don't have enough room over here by the table, so hang on. So what I've chosen is a side. If I don't use my machine, I would like to do some hand stitching, and I have this shimmery thread in a blue and a red, and I have a copper. I doubt if I'll use the copper, but I also have this silver thread that I think will add some really neat embellishment to one of the other elements that we can use that I'll show you in a minute. Now we can use our paper clips for binding, but then we can use up to 4 paper clips to bind our journal, but then we can also use those 4 paper clips elsewhere in the journal. So I have the option of putting together some page clips or hidden paper clips, that kind of thing. So that is my binding kit. We can use as much copy paper as we want. And so I will be dyeing some copy paper, and I'll talk about that in a minute. We can use 1 ink pad, and I think I'm going to use Black Soot from Tim Holtz. I think that's the one I'm going to use. Either that, or I'm going to see what I've got for, I know I've got a gold over there. You've seen me use the Teresa Collins gold. I'm going to see if maybe I'll use my white. That might be the one that I use. So we can use 1 ink pad. We can use scissors, cutters, glue, rulers, hole punch, and sewing machine and thread. Now, any of my scissors I can use. So I've got my ribbon scissors that I'll be using. I've got my fine points. And I've got my regular scissors here. I can also use my decorative edge scissors. So if I want to turn some of the ephemera pieces into a postage stamp look, I can do that. Glue, we can use any and all glues. So I've got, I have my napkin glue here that I'll be using. I also have 3 glitter glues. Now these are not stickles. It's our Studio G glitter glue. And I have blue and a iridescent and a red in those. Plus my craft glue for my fabric type stuff. May use some Crystal Effects type glue. And then there's always my Tombow Mono liquid glue that is an ever-present thing in my stash. The hole punch I've chosen to use is my Crocodile because I can punch a 1/8 and a 3/16 inch hole, but I can also set eyelets. And I am going to use some eyelets, and I'll talk about those pieces in just a second. They're next up. So we can use 2 tools. So I haven't completely decided. We can use punch, stencil, 1 stamp, a punch board, etc. I'm thinking about using my envelope punch board as one of them. And then I'm thinking my other one is going to be my whale tail punch from Stampin' Up. So I've got tabs that I can work with. Now, we can choose 14 single embellishment items. And I have chosen the following based on what I think I'm going to want to do. I have my bulb pin and a large white eyelet. This is going to be for my tassel off my spine. I have 2 Gold Star paper clips that I got from Stampin' Up. And I think I've got, when I get through here, I think I've got enough that I can pull in a 3rd one so I can use one in each of my 3 signatures. So there's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, I'll be able to go pull out another one of those paper clips. I have a red, white, and a blue star. I have a red, white, and a blue eyelet, and I want to use these to put on page edges for my dangles. And then I have red, white, and a blue button. And then I'll bring in one more of those paper clips. So those are my 14 embellishment items. Then we can, after we gather these, we can choose 14 items from our stash or shopping. You can use the whole item or the package of items. You can go shop if you want. The idea is, if it came in a package, you can use the whole package because you purchased it for one price. An example of that would be my red and white ribbon. Technically, these would be 2 separate purchases, but they were bought as a pair. They came as a special pair pricing in Stampin' Up! In our Christmas catalog a couple of years ago. The red and the white came in a package for one price. So I can use both the red and the white. So I'm going to go through my list and show you what I have. Oh, aside from the cardstock, all the digital, Dear Julie Digitals, I'm going to be using the Celebrating America. And I'm not sure if this one is still available, but this is one I'm going to use. And the other one is her Patriotic Red, White, and Blue. That one is available in the shop, and I will link it down below. So there are my papers. Okay, now, my 14 items. My fabric. I found this fabric in my Patriotic box. And aside from, let me see if I can open it up a little bit. There's plenty of ways that this can be used. Try and show this here the best way I can. Part of it is this wide stripe with these stars, and these could be fussy cut out and used. This could be cut apart and used as a strip on a belly band, used as a gathered page ruffle for a page edge. So there's so much I can get out of this one piece of fabric. And in a minute, I'm going to tell you the other bonus about this fabric. So there's my fabric. And then index cards. She said we want to make sure that we had fabric and index cards. So I have this 100 count pack of 4x6 index cards. Not sure what she has in mind for us to be using on one of these items. For one of the 14 things we have to make, but this is also perfect for me to use for tags. I can cut these down and turn them into tags. Next is my K & Company trim. And this was, there's 22 pieces in here. I've been using some of it. You saw me use it on the little mini paint chip journals a couple of weeks ago. This is called Americana. And it says they are adhesive borders. Not sure about the adhesive part, but I may have missed that. But so I've got this to work with. That's number 3. Number 4 is my Celebration stamp set from Stampin' Up. This actually was a New Year celebration stamp set, but I see fireworks and sparklers with this one. So I'm going to use that. Food coloring. Now we could use coffee, or we could use Easter egg dye. And like if we used Easter egg dye, you have multiple colors in a package, so you could dye your papers multiple colors. Whereas if you just used coffee or tea or avocado, you're limited to those, just that. But here's the other thing. I'm going to see if I can get this off of here so it'll quit glaring. I'm not sure if I can. With these food colorings, they're a little bit more intense than your Easter egg dyes. And what I liked about them was I can control the intensity. So I can use the red and I can use the yellow and the blue. And if I want the yellow to be very light, I just don't put as much food coloring in the water. If I want a real vibrant red, I can make it as vibrant as I want. The other thing is, I can put drops of the food coloring on a folded paper towel, and I have a stamp, an ink stamp, that I can use to stamp my sparklers with. So I bought food coloring, $1.29 at Walmart. My star ribbon, and I went with lots of ribbon and laces this time. My gems, this one from Crafter Square has red and clears and blues, and it also has some yellows. So various things I can play with on this one. Confetti, if I want to do a shaker card, and I'm thinking I do, there are, although this is a happy birthday confetti, there are lots of stars in here in all kinds of colors that I can make a shaker card with. I just went blank for a minute. Pom-poms. This is going to be my dangles. I've got little bitty pom-poms. I've got medium-sized ones. There's teeny tiny ones. Big ones, I can use these. I think I can run a needle and thread through these and string them. So I can use these for page dangles. I can use a string of them in my tassel. So there's that. I was going to use the earrings, and one of my tools was going to be pliers, but there's not enough chain here to make 3 dangles, and I would want a dangle on each one of my signatures. So I bypassed this, went with this. Then I have a napkin, and I don't know which one of these I'm going to choose. I have this one on this side, or I have this side, and I'm thinking it's going to be this side so that I've got the 4th of July going on. So I think this is going to be the napkin I use. This is from my napkin catalog, so I know which one I need to pull when I go out to the shed, out to the warehouse. Then I have the red and white ribbon. Up for grabs, I'm not sure of, is this blue ribbon here. I may swap this one out. This has got a big question mark beside it. Number 13 is lace. I had lace picked out. I was going to use some of the heart lace that I've gotten at Hobby Lobby. But I went to a yard sale today, and I got this big band of eyelet lace. And eyelet, to me, is more American than some of the other laces. Most of the other laces come from China. But vintage eyelet lace was made here in America. So I'm going to use that. And I'm going to dye it some of the colors with the food coloring dye. And then I have these flowers. These, although they're in this baggy package, they came from His and Hers wedding department at Hobby Lobby. And I'm not sure how many are in there, but I'm probably only, how many are in the initial package? I think 6, which would let me use 2 flowers per pack or per signature, and I'd be good. And again, I can dye these with the food colorings, or I can leave them white, whichever I want to do. So, once we have our 14 items, we have our 14 embellishment items and our tools. And the reason she chose 14 is, A, it's Mother's Day month, and 14 was her mother's favorite number. And this will be the anniversary of her first year of not having her mother. So we are dedicating our journals to Julie's mom this month. We are to make an embellished belly band with an insert, a trifold wallet with 3 inserts, fabric pocket with the file card insert, the journal card with a fancy fold and a flip up, flip down pocket with insert, a sideboard or tuck with a flip and an insert, a tip-in page with the flat embellishments, embellished fabric flip with a stack a note, waterfall pocket insert with 2 tags, flip-flop with embellished large tab flap, 2-page spread with 2 favorite embellishments, a double tuck with 2 inserts, and 3 large group tags with tab and a journal flip, and number 14, the double pocket page with 2 inserts. And one of these is the 2-page spread with the 2 favorite embellishments is like if you open it up and you've got the 2 facing pages to work with. The journal must include 3 or more pages from your paper pad, 3 or more pages from the Dear Julie Julie digital pages. Actually, it's supposed to be 5, and the 14 finished embellished elements. I also want to thank Carey Clapp. I'll link her channel down below, though I don't think she uses it much. She's mostly on her Facebook group. She put together this. This is her checklist form that she uses every month. So she makes sure she's got the item made, if she got the pictures taken for it and got them posted to the group. She's kind of really all together. Between her and Darlene, they help keep us really organized. We are also going to have the mini challenge and the challenges again this month. And that gives us the opportunity to bring in items that are separate from our 14. So there may be other things I can bring in and add. Our 14 items do not have to, or our mini challenge in the challenge items do not have to be for this journal, but they can be if we want them to be. As I said, it gives us the opportunity to bring in other things. Now, that's what I'm going to be working on. And like I said, I'm really excited to be playing this month. Now, the other thing is, it's Shout Out Saturday, which means I am pulling 5 names from the box and sending you over to visit 5 people who follow me. So there's number 1. There's number 2. There's number 3. There's number 4. And there's number 5. Okay, so this week we are visiting Christina's Creations. We are visiting Canuckgal. She's a Canadian, can you tell? Candy's Handmade Creations. That Yarny Zebra and stuff. I really like her channel. She's fun. And Terry L., who is also in our group. So, I will link these channels down below in the description box. Please take time to go visit their channels and see what they're up to. And let them inspire you. In the meantime, I will be back here on Monday with our 10 on the 10. And I have some really cute Christmas cards coming up for you. So, we will see you back here on Monday. In the meantime, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you back here on Monday. Creative blessings.